Hi guys, this is Nick Newman with RPG Mastery. Today's video is a top 10 list of the best Pathfinder spells for wizards and sorcerers. This list is my opinion, and it can differ greatly depending on the situation, of course, but I think in general, these are the best spells that you can have equipped on your person at any time. You're going to use them a lot, at least I did, every time I've played through, and I've really weighed the pros and cons of all the things in the list. These are the best, but of course other situations are going to call for spells that are just a little bit better, but I would say if I was playing a game and I wanted these spells for just any situation kind of deal, normal everyday carry, I guess you'd say, these are the spells I'd want. So we're going to start with, we're going to give you one spell from every level, all the way from 0 to 9, so there's a list of 10 here. We're going to start with our cantrips at level 0, and the spell I've chosen is Open Close. Now, this is a very powerful spell. I'm going to be able to open or close something that's about 30 pounds, and it can hold a portal open if you need to. It can even open a portal, obviously, because it's called Open. And this is a very tricky spell. I mean, it's not so much tricky for you as the user, but it can throw off the GM a little bit, especially if they've got a trap planned for you, or something bad, like a mimic or something going on in the treasure chest. But basically, when you take this spell, every time you have an opportunity to open or close anything, just use this cantrip. And at 25 feet, that's pretty good. 25 feet away could protect you from quite a few nasty hazards that can attack you if you open or close anything. Very powerful. Moving on, we've got our number 9 slot for a level 1 spell, and my choice here is Grease. Now, Grease is one of my favorite spells of all time in all of Pathfinder, and it's strictly because it's a battlefield control spell, and on top of that, it can be used late game to still throw people off. Very powerful. It's got close range 25 feet, 5 feet per 2 levels, so maximum range is 50 at level 20. You can target one object or a 10-foot square, and the duration is 1 minute per level, which is a very long time, especially in combat. So what's great about it is when you hit somebody with this Grease spell, they've got to make a reflex save or just fall immediately. Now, a creature can walk within or through the area of Grease at half normal speed with a DC 10 acrobatics check. Failure means it can't move that round. Must make a reflex save or fall. So powerful right there. You just basically took a turn away from an enemy. And what's really great is you got a 10-foot square, so you can put 2 5-feet squares in front of you and create a line that your enemies have to cross, and if they fail, they're just going to fall over. It's extremely powerful, and of course the saving throw increases as your intelligence or your charisma increases over time. Extremely powerful, and has saved my character's life quite a few times. Moving on now, this is our level 2 slot, our number 8 most powerful spell, is Glitter Dust. Now, Glitter Dust is very much like Grease, except it's a medium range, so a little bit further away. Still a 10-foot radius spread, so that's a 10-foot radius circle. And again, this one's a little lower duration at 1 round per level. The difference is, if they fail, the enemies are blinded. Anything that comes in contact with it is completely blinded. And the second thing that makes Glitter Dust so powerful is that if you throw it in an area where you think something is invisible, the glitter will attach to the invisible creature and show everybody its location. So powerful. No spell resistance, and only a will save will negate, and that's the blinding only. So you're always going to make your enemies take a -40 on their stealth checks. Use this on a rogue or something, and it's pretty much game over for them. And the components are pretty much costless, at ground mica being the component that needed to be used. Level 3, our number 7 spell is Haste. Extremely powerful spell. This is the beginning of the end for your enemies, because when you play a sorcerer or wizard, you have to realize that sorcerer or wizard is extremely powerful late game. You can 1v1 almost anything. However, the wizards and sorcerers' power mainly comes from their ability to control the battlefield at all times. And haste is one of those abilities that just amps everybody close to you. It gives the fighter an extra hit. It gives anybody an extra melee attack. It makes their movement speed increase. It's just insanely powerful. So let's go ahead and read the description really quick. When making a full round action, a hastened creature may make one extra attack with one natural or manufactured weapon. So there you go. Even you can get an extra hit. A hastened creature also gives a +1 on all attack rolls, a +1 to dodge bonus and AC, and their reflex saves. So you target yourself, you target everybody, everyone gets +1 on all their attacks and their dodges. Insane. Let's see here. In the hasted creature's modes of movement, including land movement, burrow, climb, fly, and swim, increased by 30 feet. It's almost twice. It says a maximum of twice the normal subject speed. Absolutely insanely powerful. Just one spell that goes off that can turn the tide of battle completely in your party's favor just because you're getting more actions than your opponents are. And let's see, one creature per level, no more than two, can be 30 feet apart. So if you're in a line with your friends, your comrades, just hit the haste and then boom, all you guys are just taking extra attacks and bonuses to pretty much everything you do. Moving on, we've got level 4. This is our level 4 spell, our number 6th most powerful spell, and this is Dimension Door. If you're a wizard or a sorcerer and you don't have Dimension Door, you're just not as strong as you could be. Dimension Door is one of those spells that is the beginning of a complete power change in the game. As soon as you have access to Dimension Door, you can teleport away from an enemy, you can teleport into things that you shouldn't be, teleport out of bad situations, and you can take someone with you. And the range is very long, 400 feet plus 40 feet per level. That's insanely long, a quick teleportation. The only downside is you can't attack or use a spell immediately after using the Dimension Door, but there are feats you can take that will help you if you would like to be able to do that stuff. But this is one of those spells that is on the roleplay side of things and has some tactical advantages in battle as well, and it's extremely, extremely powerful. Moving on. Now, level 5, this is our number 5 spot, and if you were surprised by Dimension Door, I hope you aren't going to be surprised by this one. This one is Teleport. Now, as I said, Dimension Door is the beginning of the game, totally unraveling to the will of the spellcaster. Now, Teleport is the spell that takes campaigns to the next level. This makes it to where people don't have to travel all across continents to get things done. It helps wizards and sorcerers become elements of political power within a campaign, strictly because you can go to different continents anytime you want, different planes or whatever, not planes, but different places on the planet, and just instantly be there. Not only that, you can take somebody else with you. So powerful. It's just an amped up Dimension Door. And I tell you what, some GMs, when teleport starts to become a thing in their campaign, a lot of campaigns might die because of it. It's just so powerful. And the ability to just go wherever you want. It's extremely powerful. Moving on. And by the way, components on that spell is just verbal. All you have to do is speak and you can teleport away. Moving on now. Level 6, this is our number 4 spot. And this is where things get to be a little bit tricky, and this is pushing wizards and sorcerers towards that god mode power. And this spell is called Contingency. Now this, immediately when I learned this spell, it confused me. I saw it in the rulebook, I didn't think it was that good. But I realized that anything that can allow you to cast more than one spell a turn can quickly take you to that god mode that most people are looking for. Now, Contingency, Evocation, which is a good school. You're going to use all your fireballs and stuff from the same school, so probably not going to be a spell or a school against you. It's a spell you cast for 10 minutes, and you do it at the beginning of the day, and the duration is 1 day per level, so at least, even if you were level 1 and you've managed to cast this, it's still a whole day of use. and you target yourself. And basically, you can place another spell upon your person so that it becomes in effect under some condition you dictate when casting Contingency. The Contingency spell and the companion spell are cast at the same time. The 10-minute casting time is the minimum total for both castings. If the companion spell has a casting time of longer than 10 minutes, you use that instead. You must pay any costs associated with the companion spell when you cast Contingency. Okay, so the spell to be brought into effect by Contingency must be one that affects your person and be of a spell level no higher than 1/3 your caster level, rounded down, maximum 6th. This means that basically you choose a spell that's of a lower level, and you can put a contingency on yourself to have that spell trigger and go off whenever something happens. By the time you're level 20, you're going to be able to do some insanely powerful stuff with contingency. You can put a dimension door on yourself, it triggers and goes off, and you can say, well, whenever I'm attacked, I will dimension door, let's say 200 feet to the right. And that can go off. That spell will work exactly like it does, and it saves you from getting hurt, taking damage. And you can have a lot of other things go off. You can set up a fly contingency that will make you fly as soon as you say, hey, I need to fly. And set that contingency upon a verbal cue that makes it happen. As I said, this can be used in battle, especially since talking is a free action in combat. If you set the trigger to your contingency of a spell you've loaded up to be a verbal trigger, you can basically get an additional spell to go off during your turn. And when I play Wizards and Sorcerers, I like to win in one turn. I don't know about you guys. Moving on to level 7, this is our number 3 spell. And this one might throw you off a little bit, but it's Delayed Blast Fireball. Now, I'm a big fan of normal fireballs. This is just so much better. Spells functions like a normal fireball, except that it is more powerful and can detonate up to 5 rounds after the spell's cast. This is key. The Burst of the Flame does 1d6 points of fire damage per caster level, a maximum of 20d6, which is really good. It's pretty powerful. It's not the most powerful spell in the game, but what I've put it on this list because of its ability to be abused, especially by the rules. Now, you chain this Delayed Blast Fireball with a time stop effect. When you do that, time stop says that when you can cast spells that don't target people. So you can set up a time stop spell for 4 rounds, choose an area around an opponent on the ground, and you can cast consecutively 4 of those Delayed Blast Fireballs around the opponent. Now, you can set each fireball to go off, the first one being going off in 5 rounds, going off in the next one, going off in 4, 3, 2, 1, and then as soon as the time stop ends, all the fireballs go off at one time, doing insane amounts of damage, maximum 80 d6 damage on a time stop. And that's not to mention, later on, you'll be able to quicken this spell and add even more to it. I have used this in campaigns to basically destroy whole armies of people, and I love the spell. And not only that, it's the roleplay aspect of this spell is very heavy as well, especially in situations where you basically need a bomb to go off. You can drop a fireball in somebody's cup of coffee and walk away, and then 3 turns later it goes off and blows their head off. Amazingly powerful spell. Moving on, this is our level 8 spell, and this is our number 2 slot. So, this spell is called Moment of Prescience. Now, this is the beginning of God mode, if you ask me. This is it. Once you get Moment of Prescience in the game, you can be rather comfortable. You can kill anything or survive anything. So what it does is verbal somatic, so components are pretty much free. Range is personal, you target yourself, and duration is 1 hour per level or until discharged. Now, the spell grants you a 6th sense. Once during the spell's duration, you may choose to use its effect. This spell grants you an insight bonus equal to your caster level, maximum plus 25, on any single attack roll, combat maneuver check, opposed ability skill check, or saving throw. Alternatively, you can apply the insight bonus to your AC against a single attack, even flat-footed. Activating the effect doesn't take an action. You can even activate it on another character's turn. You must choose to use the moment of prescience before you make the roll it is to modify. Once you use the spell ends, you can't have more than one moment of prescience active on you at the same time. Now this is so powerful. It's only one standard action time. Again, you chain this with a time stop. You can activate your moment of prescience, go into the time stop, activate it again. When you come out of time stop, you have another one loaded, and it basically just gives your level to any roll that you choose. And that could be a saving throw against an enemy effect. That could be an attack that you really need to hit your opponent with. It can be a situational check where you're trying to control the battlefield. But anyway, this moment of prescience, it's insanely powerful. And you can use it to save the lives of your party members. You can save your life primarily. Or you can just really ensure that something that you absolutely has to happen happens, other than if you were to crit fail doing it. But there are ways around that, of course, with items in the game. But Moment of Prescience is insanely powerful, and with casting costs like that, everyone should take it. Moving on, this should not surprise you. This is our level 9, and this is our number 1 slot in this spell. You might think it would be Wish, but it's not. It's Time Stop. Time Stop is so abusable in this game. You can use it to set up all kinds of situations. Even if you're not casting spells, you can set up battlefield situations that are going to ruin your enemies. Or you can use it to completely enhance your situation, the battlefield, of course. But it's just so powerful. I cannot undervalue the power of a time stop. The ability to... Now, the only problem, the downfall with time stop is you can't target somebody. You basically can't do anything to anyone else. You can do all the things you want to yourself during those maximum 4 rounds. You're always going to get 1 round. The maximum you're going to get out of this is 5 extra rounds of turns, essentially. And it can be the difference between winning or losing a battle, those extra turns. And basically, time just stops and ceases to flow for everyone but you. But in fact, you're actually moving so fast that everything else in the world seems frozen. So you can stack special spells on yourself. You can put a spell turning on yourself. You can put your moment of prescience again after you've used it. You can use, and my favorite, of course, we've already talked about, is spamming the field with those delayed blast fireballs to go off as soon as the time stop is over. And another extremely powerful thing is time stop's ability to basically be spammed as well using a quicken spell or something like that. Alright guys, well that's my list of top 10 Pathfinder spells by level, of course. Thank you guys for listening. Please comment, subscribe, tell me about situations that you've used these spells or similar spells. Tell me if you think I'm wrong and there's a different spell for a slot. I know, for example, the level 0 spell was really hard to come up with, especially when we're looking at Detect Magic as an option, but it was very hard to determine the best, and of course this is an opinion of mine, but I feel that if you were to make a character and you choose these spells, you're not going to go wrong in any of these, and you're going to appreciate the ability to basically take your sorcerer or wizard from basically a gummy bear of a party to the one that dictates who wins and loses battles. Thank you very much. Please comment, like, and subscribe for more in the future. This is Nick Newman with RPG Mastery, and remember to stay calm and roll 20.